Okay, here we are, the JoeJoe Show, number 17.
Yeah, we're going to move fast, everybody. I've decided we're not taking breaks.
Oh.
It's going to be 30 minutes of us just ranting about the hottest topics north of the tropics.
So fasten your seatbelts. It's going
Yes,
to be
please.
a bumpy ride.
It's going to be
coming
fast.
at you.
I doubt we'll make any sense. You'll probably turn us off after 5 minutes, but it's okay.
Globally, nationally, and locally. Just globally, I mean, this U.S.-China trade deal is at a stalemate.
It's out of control, dude. It's out of control. I really
you
thought
won't feel it yet.
Really, I thought they would have had it done before the weekend, but they didn't. So look, I'm watching Fox Business today, and they had Karl Rove on there. Yeah, I know it's Karl Rove, but they had Karl Rove on there, and he's showing the advantages, of U.S. versus what China is imposing on us. And dude, we're still ahead. We're still coming out ahead. I'm just letting you know. Everybody, dude, don't worry. Don't panic. China needs us more than we need them. Okay,
right.
Please do not. And if they don't, then good. Then good. It's a parasitic relationship anyway. They're stealing our technology. They're stealing our secrets and stuff like that. Dude, let them go.
That's it. We don't need them that much. I don't need them. Maybe for firecrackers. But anyway, they make them here.
Firecrackers, Joe?
Yeah, Chinese firecrackers, dude. They're the best. Anyway, nationally, we'd like to do a little expose, possibly on voter suppression. The Cannabis Corner, North Dakota decriminalized. Hello, you North Dakotians up there?
Yes, good job. And you've joined Alabama and Texas. Now, this is one of the things I wanted to get into the last show, but we didn't get into it, okay? Alabama and Texas have now decriminalized marijuana. That's right. If you're a marijuana smoker and sorry. Why am I calling it marijuana? Joe, slap me upside the head. Slap me upside the head. Right here.
Well, maybe you
slap it.
Maybe you can't
slap
get
it,
the difference
Joe.
between
I'm right here.
Marijuana and cannabis.
So look, Alabama and Texas both have decriminalized cannabis. So that means you're riding down the road, boom, da cha da boom, da boom, and you're rocking your tunes and you're smoking on that good weed, and they're gonna pull you over. Dude, you ain't going to jail.
You'll get a citation.
Around us, you're going to get a ticket. But that's better than being locked up and having to go before a judge in 3 days and all that
Spending
BS.
all that extra money on
it's
the
over.
taxpayer.
It's done. They are paving the way for federal legalization.
Go North Dakota. Anyway, Georgia Hollywood boycott because of the heartbeat bill passed by the Georgia governor, the newly elected Georgia governor. We'll get to that in a second. But anyway, laws governing the abortion for the heartbeat. And then Hollywood doing a lot of Netflix, this, that, and the other, HBO. They're going to boycott. And then, well, we're boycotting. We're leaving. Well, go. Who cares? I don't watch those movies anyway. But the bottom line is, then they get in the corner and say, well, the best thing to keep abortion out is abstinence. And that was from Alyssa Milano, who was a hero or a heroine.
Oh, man.
Listen.
Years
ago.
Back in the day, Alyssa Milano was like the she was like everybody's dream, but now she's just turned into another leftist. Okay? I mean, we can't, the Joe and Joe show doesn't support leftists, straight up leftists, okay? Now, she's made a lot of money for herself via capitalism, and she's done very well for herself. Right. But I will say that she's turned into the biggest leftist, and she needs to be ignored at every turn. But look, if leftist women and liberal women want to stop having sex so they can stop procreating, believe the world is your oyster.
The men will still have sex somewhere, somehow, and that's another problem.
I actually support that measure, and I hope and wish the best for Alyssa Milano and her cause, because if leftist women could quit having babies, then we could really start getting somewhere in America.
There you go. Hollywood in general. I mean, the list goes on and on. Bette Midler, Cher, Samuel L. Jackson, Brad Pitt. Thanks for all those houses that are crumbling over there in New Orleans, Brad. Did a real great job. And then
hey, don't worry, we tried. We did our share for New Orleans. Don't worry. Ain't nobody calling us to make repairs.
Talking about New Orleans, locally we had all these rains and floods here. Every time it rains here at Baton Rouge, this whole area of the southeast, what can you say? It's going to flood, and it's an ongoing thing. The Corps of Engineers, the government, the this, that, the other. Eventually, it'll just wash away. New Orleans will wash away maybe in about 50 years, and the Lake Pontchartrain and the Gulf of Mexico will be right here on the other side of the Mississippi River. But just bear with it, people. I know it affects a lot of people. We had calls, people checking on us, how the rains, how the floods were down here. So far, so good. That's all I can say. And we live just a mile from the river that flooded the last time in 2016. So thanks for your prayers and your thoughts.
Yeah, Joe, you're in a very weird spot. Anyway, look, let's go ahead and switch the subjects.
Okay, let's see.
We're looking at a time schedule. Everybody, look, we use Ableton Live, okay? We use Ableton Live to record our stuff, and then I go back and edit it. So we're looking at a time schedule right here. So without us having any breaks, now we're on time schedule, okay? We want to give you a little behind the scenes of the show.
Yeah.
It's something that that a lot of people might not do or might not
subscribe.
Be like, we're so this, that, and the other. Dude, we're winging this thing in a lot of ways.
Like us and subscribe.
But I will say this. Now, that's right. The Joe and Joe Show 2019, we have contributors. There's enough people watching this show now to where they want to contribute and comment. Now, this guy that is a contributor, he has a really prestigious job. He doesn't want to be named, and he just wants to sound off, but so he's going to remain anonymous, okay?
And he emailed us, right?
So let's just call him Chester. Yeah, he emailed us. So let's just call him Chester. This is what Chester has to say.
Thanks, Chester.
Now, I'm going to totally flip the script, and if you're not from Baton Rouge, this doesn't apply to you. But if you are still here and you are in the city of Baton Rouge, now this applies to you. Now you really got to take warning, okay? So, if you've been paying attention to the whole St. George thing, Mayor Weston Broom... What
Just
a joke.
Keep on. Don't ad-lib about her,
I know. Yeah, don't give her any more attention.
Right.
Okay, so she attempted to force the St. George resolution to be voted on by the entire parish, and not just within the area that would be incorporated as a new city of St. George. Now, Joe, what does the city of St. George mean to you? Just summarize it for me. What does it mean to you?
It means that they're trying to do away with what's happening here in East Baton Rouge Parish and branch out for themselves like Central did, which I think is a good idea. Keep all their tax base there. And because Baton Rouge is a Democratic mayor, Democratic city, and we said that last time, Democratic cities are going down the hill with crime, drugs, murders, all the ills that go with that.
Yeah, and it sounds like that's what's been happening in Baton Rouge in the last 20, 30 years.
20, 25 years.
It's just gotten worse. So, it's shocking that the local Democrats would try to screw over their political opponents here, while claiming they have some type of moral high ground. See, the good news is that the Republicans don't seem to be falling for it, this time at least.
Great.
Yeah. I think they got him on the ropes. So Weston Broom's attempt to disenfranchise South Baton Rouge voters by employing a reverse Southern strategy was thankfully thwarted. You see, Weston Broom, which is the mayor, she's quoted, "I view all of EBR voting, as taxation without representation, and it won't dictate the outcome. I'm just trying to promote a democratic process," end quote. Yeah, you see, there's a whole lot to unpack here. She's willing to violate the citizens of South Baton Rouge's right to self-determination in order to secure South Baton Rouge as a tax base. to fund projects in North Baton Rouge. Now, if you've ever been to Baton Rouge and you know where North Baton Rouge is, you're going to be like, huh? Yeah, that's not right. So under all the pretense of promoting a democratic process, she basically tries to bypass the democratic process. And I think it was Voltaire, some great philosopher said, thankfully, he said, "Oh Lord, please make my enemies ridiculous." Well, with Weston Broom, I think they finally got their wish.
Well, when is that going to
It's
vote?
done.
Resolution?
No, it's done. It failed Thursday.
It failed.
Our guy
Great.
Chester sent us this on Wednesday, and the vote failed Thursday.
Great.
So now all the parish is not going to be able to vote. Thank God, not going to be able to vote.
Great.
On whether or not the city of St. George and Baton Rouge can basically split up.
Wow.
You know, but see, here's the thing. So if St. George gets it and it works, then you will see more neighborhoods one by one secede from Baton Rouge, and Baton Rouge is going to
Well,
be
yeah,
like
I mean, it
forgotten.
happens. It's like that in Houston a lot. I mean, the people down there in Texas that we always know and come through, it's like that in Houston. I mean, they all split
have
up
their
into
incorporated
independent-
neighborhoods.
incorporated neighborhoods and things like that. I mean, there's to me, there's nothing wrong with it. It's less burden on the city itself, and let them people be. I mean, St. George is what it is, and it needs to be. I know it's a big old bite out of Baton Rouge that way, but hey, let them move on.
Dude,
Anyway,
Baton Rouge has used and abused its citizens for decades, and now them chickens are coming home to roost. As Jeremiah Wright would say, them chickens are coming home to roost.
Well, anyway, that's what that voting for and stuff like that brings me back to what I started earlier, Georgia voter suppression, things like that. People down here in the South, if you're Democrat, seems like every Democrat who loses an election, they're unsatisfied. They say they should have won and that the voters are being suppressed, whether they be minorities or whatever. And in the last election, 2016 election, it was shown, and I don't have the facts or figures, but there was more Hispanics voting. There was more blacks voting than any other election. There's more women voting. There's more people voting, and I mean, just figure it out. 63 million people voted for something that they thought was good, and it is working right now if they'd let it transpire to keep on. But my thing is, it doesn't have to be a race thing. It doesn't has to be that. And I think all this Democrat crap started voting anyway with the Chads that they were looking at with Al Gore, and they were seeing those little holes there, and they couldn't even count. They kept doing it and doing it and doing it.
You're right. I remember that.
Man,
I remember that.
I mean, what else? And now,
but
the internet's going to shut it down, and you're not going to be able to see anything from your conservative view or the person you're voting for, because the internet's going to cut it down. So where voter suppression, give me a break.
All right, Joe, let's switch gears. What else you got?
Well, man, I just wanted to go over a little bit of LSU baseball this past week that happened. I mean, they got bombed, run on in Arkansas. They lost to La Tech from the last show.
They're done.
And I saw the Ryan Terrio, former Tiger in the late 90s and a Chicago Cub, all-star, I believe, from Broadmoor High, was talking about there was just no fire. There's a lack of desire on the Tiger team. Even though they took the rubber mat or the last game from Arkansas, there's nothing there. And I know that we got to stay with Manera for the next couple of years, and this is the first year that all the statistics are against him, but they relied on pitching, they relied on hitting, they relied on this and that didn't work for them, didn't go, but just to lack the fire at the end. I mean, they started off with so much promise, and I'm not saying let's fire the bum. I didn't said that last time. It's just that when are we going to get to that, to where we need to get? When are we going to get, just like in LSU football, when are we going to get there? We're finished number 6. We had the best recruiting classes, this, that. You can't get past Alabama, you know, and then you couldn't even get past A&M last year in that debacle down there at College Station, that 5-hour game. But I mean, bottom line is, you know, that's that's where it's at.
Yeah,
I mean, when are we going to do something about it? Maybe the new AD will do something about it, but Maneri's not going anywhere.
Yeah, Joe, look, I mean, I guarantee LSU fans, they're content with just being second to Alabama. They're content with going to the Capital One Bowl. They're content with going to the Florida Citrus Bowl. They're content with going to the Music City Bowl because, hey, at least we get good recruits. Ooh.
Yeah, and then we can go tailgate, which is fine with me. It's fine with me. And don't get me wrong.
Listen, if you have never been to Tiger Stadium or around Tiger Stadium for a tailgate party, and you actually know some people, dude, here's what you do. Load up, put a big, like a Glad trash bag with ice, and load your backpack up with a 12-pack, and walk around, dude, and just walk around, dude. You're going to find cool people. LSU's tailgate is the best game day experience I've ever experienced.
Sometimes it's better than the game.
Dude, and I have the Alabama one was definitely better than the game. So look, so I have went to TCU, Oklahoma, Texas A&M, Ole Miss, Florida, like Miami,
Alabama.
like I've been to a whole bunch of them, and dude, LSU's tailgate by far is the best. But having said that, like, okay, LSU fans, you have to be a little perturbed that you're just getting by as far as like as
Let's do something.
Just getting by in baseball, getting by in basketball.
Okay. Like I said, we're on a little time limit, but Gary Shink used to say we invented tailgating out at LSU because we brought food and that old Rambler we had. But then one thing good about Tiger Stadium back then, when go to the games, there was a guy on the I guess the east side, or the other side, he'd be Red was his name. He'd be screaming Tiger bait, Tiger bait, Tiger bait, Tiger bait. So if you remember that, but anyway. Little Joe's got some topics, and you know what I want to say, and I'm going to segue into it and step back because it's a learning process for me, and I'll add in when I ask questions or try to befuddle what he's saying. But bottom line is, we come out with a lot of stuff on the Joe Show, the JoeJoe Show, that it's now coming out now. The Ukraine thing, a lot of things, the chemtrails. We've come out with other stuff that you've almost like you heard it first here, which I'm pretty proud of Little Joe. He researches that. He's got a world of knowledge up there under that gray hair, that cranium. But I mean, he and he gets fanatical about it, which is the big thing. So we're just trying to bring it to you, inform you. You can do what you want to do with it. Turn us off, keep us on, but subscribe. But what he wants to talk about, which he texted me today and said, Operation Popeye. I said, great, man. I'd like to see some old Popeye cartoons. But Joe, I don't think it's cartoons.
Yeah, no, it's not cartoons. Listen, Operation Popeye ran from March 20th, 1967 to July 5th, 1972. Okay? Now, during the Vietnam War, the U.S. military conducted basically a geoengineering weather modification strategy to flood the Ho Chi Minh Trail. And so Ho Chi Minh Trail, of course, is in Vietnam. So the operation seeded the clouds with both silver iodide and lead iodide. See, so what they were trying to do, and what they eventually wound up doing, they extended the monsoon season an average of 45 days. Okay?
So they used it as a
weapon.
As a weapon.
They used the weather as a weapon.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So they're seeding the clouds. They're spraying the chemtrails. They're spraying the stuff. Okay? So this has actually been going on all over your head every day. Every day.
I tell you can see them up in the sky.
For the last 20 years. What are you still on the fence for? What if you're saying, oh, yeah, those guys, they're full of BS, dude? Why, dude? Comment below and tell us why we're full of BS, and I guarantee your comment is gonna get trashed. Listen, but that I don't want to discourage you from commenting. All views are open.
Yeah,
okay?
Man, we're
but
sure
look,
not right
for the most part. So what does that eventually lead to? That eventually leads to it's like you don't care. It's like all this stuff has been going on and you don't care. Okay?
What can we do about it?
Well, Have you ever heard of any of the national security presidential directives, NSPD, HSPD, any crazy stuff like that? So let me read something to you real quick. Okay. Now this is from Jerome Corsi. Okay. From May 23rd, 2007. Okay, now I know that. Hey, if you're still with us, hey, wait, hold on. Don't go anywhere just yet. Okay? So, here it is. The National Security and Homeland Security Presidential Directive. They call this NSPD 51. Okay? Establishes under the office of President a new National Continuity Coordinator. You see that job, as the document describes, is to make plans for a national essential functions of all federal, state, local, territorial, and tribal governments, as well as private sector organizations, to continue functioning under the president's directives in the event of a national emergency. See,
get that? Put it in layman term real quick.
The directive loosely defines catastrophic emergency as an incident, regardless of location, that results in extraordinary levels of mass casualties, damage, or disruption, severely affecting the U.S. population, infrastructure, environment, or economy. Okay, here it is. Okay, so basically the president can come in and say, you've had a national emergency, we're going to take everything all over. Okay, a hurricane, an earthquake. He supersedes state, local, tribal, any government that's in place. The president can now do whatever he wants.
NSPD 51.
NSPD 51. Okay, here's my thing. That was from 2007, passed during the Bush administration. Hey, hello? Hey, has anybody checked to see if that's still valid? Is that still on the books?
You mean Trump could use it?
Yes. Or another president could use it. Am I the only one that has an unease about that still being on the books?
Well, I mean, they started that a couple of years ago. I think somebody started talking martial law down this way.
Yeah, but no. See, the rules, the so-called legislation is in place for this to already happen. So... Okay. You having this right and you having this voter right and we still have rights and dude, it's just an illusion. It's just an illusion because they could come tomorrow and say and start a war with you and somebody could attack the United States, quote unquote attack the United States, and they can render everything useless, the Constitution useless, and now we all have to abide by what the president says.
Wow.
And listen, I don't care who the president. I don't care how much I like him. I don't like that at all.
Well, and I think that's what Nancy Pelosi and them all are saying, that he's impeachable and he could take and do anything he wants to do and get away with it. But then again, it's just a law that it's in there and it can be enacted. What are we going to do? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. HSPD 20 is a Homeland Security presidential directive, and NSPD 51 now. You have your homework, everybody, all you little buckaroos out there.
HSPD 20.
HSPD 20 and NSPD 51. Now, continuing on, how much I hate the government.
5G. He's going to get people. On 5G.
Here we go. So I'm up watching C-SPAN the other night, and Joe, I'm gonna give you the last word, and let's switch it to let's switch it to another topic, because I guarantee our audience out there has already turned us off. But if you're still here, thank you first and foremost.
C-SPAN, huh?
Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button.
Well, you must have had a lot to do.
Comment on us. Comment on us below. Hit the bell notification so you can get the straight up alerts on your phone when we do post a show. Yeah, when we do post a show. So look, here it is. So I'm watching C-SPAN the other night, and I see, lo and behold, they're interviewing the FCC and the FTC. Now, the Federal Trade Commission and the FCC I don't know exactly why they were up there at the same time taking questions. Maybe they were saving money. I don't understand. So you have our representative, our state representative,
John Kennedy,
his name
Republican,
is John Kennedy.
Louisiana.
He's a Republican.
Louisiana.
Oh, he's a Republican. He's supposed to protect us, right? No. That's what you have to understand about the Joe and Joe Show. We don't endorse any candidate. We don't endorse anybody in office unless they're really doing something good. Then we'll praise and kiss their ass. But this ain't that type of show. We ain't kissing nobody's ass on this show. And I'm definitely not kissing John Kennedy's ass because he's up there talking to the head of the FCC for the government. And he doesn't want to know. And 5G is bad. 5G, yeah. And he doesn't want to know why 5G is being implemented. No, he wants to know why 5G is already not implemented. He's really pushing
when
him.
he wants it implemented.
He really pushing for him. Why is this not done already? Okay, dude, listen. Why? First of all, how much are they paying you, John? How much are they paying you? How much did they cut you that check? Boy, that little country home in Arkansas or wherever you got it, boy, that must be a really nice place. Because it's paid for by the telecommunications industry because all you're doing is getting up there and pushing 5G.
Yeah,
you
it's the
haven't
same
looked
old
at
story.
Dude, you haven't looked at the dangers of 5G because if you looked at the dangers of 5G as far as
We
your
had that a couple of weeks ago.
as far as your constituents are concerned, you'd be pressing that guy, hey, wait, we need to have more talk. But here's the thing. They are used to the old system. The old system is like, yeah, 2G, 3G, 4G, yeah, everybody's got cell phones, great. They're not thinking about the implementation of 5G as a cell phone tower every 300 feet, as 20,000 satellites in orbit, all aimed at the United States for the purpose of 5G. It's BS. It's BS.
Fry our brains. Well, anyway, that's his rant on John Kennedy or Louisiana.
Yeah, John Kennedy, you suck. I'm not voting for you.
That's it. He was going to run for governor, I guess. That's why he didn't. He don't need to run the governor
No,
for
you're
here.
not running. You're not going to get my vote.
But anyway, we're about the 27-minute mark, and we got some shout-outs, as we always do. Like shout-out to Lance Corporal Heath Mendoza, USMC, Okinawa. I wonder if he ever got that. Well, I better not say it. I think it was privy to a lot of people, but I hear he was going to get a nice one of the family on his body. But anyway.
I want to shout out JR, AP, Patrick. You know who you are. Hey, thanks for subscribing. Thanks for hitting us up, man.
That's it, man.
Listen. We wouldn't do that. Oh, KT, Aunt
Chicago
Fee,
Kane.
Uncle T.
Yeah.
Like we love y'all, Chris. My boy Chris. You know.
Okay. I'd like to give a shout out to cousin Lucy down there in Houston. She's gotten out of the bad part of that aneurysm. She's got the breathing tube off, and she's doing a whole lot better. And the doctors say it's a miracle, and she can only get stronger. So we wish you the best, and we're still praying for you, Lucy. As we talked about Alabama a little while ago, that kind of reminds me, anytime you say Alabama, it's got to be Alabama football. Nick Saban comes to mind. But I just wanted to read you a couple of the tough games they have on that tough schedule before they get into SEC play.
The SEC,
all right, here we go.
they're
Come
so
on, give me a
tough.
break. We got a minute or two left. Duke, Southern Miss, New Mexico State, and Saban loves Western Carolina. He played them while they were here, when he was coaching here. Now that's going to build that tide up, and that's going to put them. They're already number one, preseason number one in every poll, every publication already, and it's not even football season, even though we're less than 90 days away now. I don't know how many days, but 75. But the bottom line is they're ranked over Clemson, and Clemson beat them last year, and Clemson. So you figure it out, but that's that tough Bama schedule. And then naturally, they have the SEC play, which is LSU and A&M is the only one going to give them a run for the money.
All right, look, to recap the show, we hit China. See, China raised the tariffs, their retaliation to the United States. So now it's like China said they're going to raise the tariffs on $60 billion worth of U.S. goods in retaliation to Trump's latest moves on tariffs that were worth $200 billion of the Chinese goods. Ooh, you're really hurting us.
Voter suppression. We talked about
voter suppression.
LSU baseball.
Look,
we still got a minute or two left.
Your homework is NSPD 51.
NSPD 51.
HSPD 20.
HSPD 20.
Remember, John Kennedy sucks. And remember, Mayor
5G
Weston
sucks. Socialism sucks.
Mayor Weston Broom in Baton Rouge sucks. Okay, now look, listen, we love y'all, and I hope you enjoy the music, Joe.
I got one more shout out, little Joe. Mark, if you're listening wherever you're at, I like that album thing we're doing. Keep it up. We're trying to name the best 10, 20 most influential albums of all time that brought us to this point. The rule we took to get to this point. Peace and love to everybody. Subscribe. You little buckaroos, you know what to do. Drink that milk and say your prayers. Little Joe.
Yeah, look, I just want to say, tune into us next week. We'll have more on the China trade thing. Hopefully it works itself out. But if not, we love y'all. We will see y'all later.
No Woodstock this
year.
Later.